Hello and welcome to yet another installment of Pulp Picks. I am Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we are here to help you narrow down this massive selection of comic books that came out this week. Not that you can't come in and pick up one of everything or more, honestly.
It feels like I did last night.
Oh my gosh, my stack was so huge and there were so many good books. But there were a number that I skipped because I know that I've been picking them regularly for Pulp Picks. So I wanted to try to kind of push the envelope a little bit and get out there a little bit more with my picks, but let's start with your pick, Fritz.
So I didn't actually do that, but to be fair, it's been months since issue 2 came out, so who cares? So my pick was Wonder Woman Historia issue 3, the final part of the Black Label series, kind of like giving this very like deep, well thought out like revamp of like how the Amazons came to be, like their relationships with the gods. And I've picked every issue so far, if that tells you how much I've been loving it. It's so good, like just kind of because like a lot of times with like superhero origin stuff, like when it gets fleshed out, it feels kind of like needlessly like puffing up stuff that there's not like a whole lot of like meat to it. Yep. But with this, like you really get like a sense of the different tribes that make up the Amazons, because you've got like the ones created by the gods, but then like the ones that were originally just like normal women, and like how they kind of like intermingled the relationships between like the female gods and the male gods, and how like that reflects on how they treat the Amazons and how they interact with each other. There's some like really great interactions between Hera and like some of like her kids in this, just like showing like how like frayed like everyone's relationships with each other are on Olympus. Like no one really likes each other, it seems like, up there. Yeah. But the entire series has been like amazing. Like they've been changing artists each issue. This time we've got Nicholas Scott on, who was like on Wonder Woman for a couple different runs. Both, I think, the recent Greg Rucka run from a couple years ago, and then before that, Gail Simone's run. Yep. But she like is like doing amazing work. Like she closes this out like on a high note. There's in particular a sequence during a fight with Hercules where it's like juxtaposed against like a mantis being surrounded by like an ant colony that is just like top notch. But it's great. It's got like kind of a melancholic ending, because if you know like what has to happen for the Amazons, like it doesn't exactly work out perfectly for it. Like no one's happy about how things go down at the end, but like in a very satisfying way still, where it's just like it leaves it open to having a brighter future for everyone. But its whole series has been amazing. Now that this is out, if you haven't been picking it up, grab that collected edition when it comes out, because we'll definitely have it. But I honestly couldn't say enough about this series. It's been consistently one of the best things DC has been putting out for the last year. But over to you, Patrick.
Yeah, well, and I'm very excited about the direction that DC is going with their comic world right now. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. But for right now, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange. Oh man, what was the actual title of this one?
Sunrise.
Fall Sunrise. Yeah. Trad Moore is just absolutely blowing my mind with this book in a number of different ways. One, the story that is in here is very interesting. The art, it's like an MC Escher Maze meets,
it's like watching liquid move on a page.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it is, I love when people kind of get back to the roots of things. And this definitely ties into the very weird Steve Ditko origins of Doctor Strange, and messing with the concepts of reality and, bending physics and having things happening in large panels and small panels, honestly, with just so much stuff happening around there. Yeah, exactly. So this one, I was telling Fritz this morning, there are parts where, now I'm going to make a reference to another old artist, Gil Kane would do those kind of continued action shots where the character is moving through a page or multiple panels or what have you, and you see them in the different stages of that movement. And there's a lot of that kind of vibe here too. But this took a left turn. I didn't really understand what was happening. So this is one of those stories where stay tuned, because when it all finally comes together, you're going to go, I'm going to have to go back and reread this thing at least one or two more times to figure out what was really happening all along. It is amazing. This is one of those where I think, every 10 years or so, you get one of those books where it just totally shifts your expectations on what a great book for that particular character looks like. And I think if they stick the landing with this one, this is it for Doctor Strange.
Oh, for sure.
And Strange has had quite a bit of good material happening lately. So it's not like this was a character that wasn't really meeting his potential. This is amazing, though. This is everything that a Doctor Strange book should be, because it's so weird, it's so out there. There's obviously a lot of thought going into it too, because there's this whole bigger, I don't know, world behind a world kind of thing that you're learning about that is just amazing. And I feel like a lot of thought and a lot of research went into that. So kudos to Tradmore. This is just astonishing.
Yeah, and as excited as I am for the new Doctor Strange comic, which if you're excited for that and you've been enjoying Jed McKay because he's still writing it, he's been doing the current Strange series. He's also been doing Moon Knight, which also came out this week. Check that out.
Timeless. He's one of the.
Yep. But as I'm super looking forward to that, I would never be opposed if Tradmore wanted to come back and do some more Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so good. It was everything that I didn't know that I needed to have in a Doctor Strange book. Yeah. All right. And since Sarah isn't with us today, she's not feeling well. So we decided to do a consensus pick this time. Bump, 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 and we went with Action Comics 1050. So, Fritz, what was your take on Action 1050 here?
So, Action 1050, it's a very kind of nice, in-between point between, where all the, Superman books have been for, the last year or so and where they're going to be starting in 2023. So, we're kind of getting a little wrap-up on, some of the stuff that Philip Kennedy Johnson has been doing on Action, some of what Tom Taylor's been doing over on Superman, Son of Kal-El, and then also setting up Joshua Williamson, who's going to be launching the new Superman comic coming out, and I think, is it next month already?
Yeah. 51, yeah.
Well, no.
I'm sorry, yes.
No. Yeah, no, but so it's kind of getting everything set up, kind of establishing, Superman's new status quo, Lex Luthor, John, kind of everyone, where they're going to be at when everything kind of kicks off next month. And
yeah, I've been touting the direction that they're going with this because I'm very excited. And, the Bendis run was for me. There were parts that were great, but definitely monkeyed with a lot of the, surroundings of Superman, the whole revealing his identity and all that kind of stuff. Aging up John in a way that made Lois and Clark the worst parents of all time. I just, there were some things that it just felt like he monkeyed with what was going on with Superman so much because he wanted to get to a place where he could tell the story that he really wanted to tell.
And then he never really got to do that.
And he didn't care how he got there either. Don't get me wrong, Bendis has done some amazing work, but his Superman stuff left me flat. Apparently it left DC flat too, because they're leaving almost all of it behind relatively quickly. And if you want to see where Superman is going, this is a must pick up to understand what's happening. I mean, not that they won't tell you books, but this is the transition book.
Yeah, it's really good. You get a very fun Superman versus Luthor fight that has there's a couple of really nice lines I like from Luthor in there about in regards to Superman's whole identity reveal of how the very weird personal way that actually hurt him. That it's just it kind of highlights some of the missed opportunities they had with this whole identity reveal that they never fleshed out as properly as they could have.
Yeah.
But
he is definitely a petty narcissist, which is great because I kind of always really liked that John Byrne era
Lex
Luthor, where he's just a complete narcissist and he does things just because he can, and he wants to see what happens when you put a magnifying glass on an ant.
There's a couple lines in here where I very specifically heard in the voice of Gene Hackman.
Yeah, yeah. It was really good. I enjoyed it. We did talk about it. It's a little, the artists change throughout the book, and it doesn't seem like a book that's big enough to need that, but whatever. It was the art was okay. The story was really good.
Yeah,
I'm really interested in what this sets up.
I especially like Action Comics, is obviously I picked this series a couple times so far on these, but like the new era they're doing with like where it's basically like a team book with everyone. They've got like the nice matching jackets. Like I'm super excited for where they go with that. Also, DC, if you don't like make those actual jackets people can buy, you're leaving money on the table, because I'll buy one.
Right? Yeah.
But that, like the Williamson's new Superman run, like setting up some interesting status quo stuff for that. Very interested. The new John Kent Superman series. I'm forgetting what exactly they're calling it.
Oh man, I don't remember.
But like it's got him dealing with like some like cool multiverse stuff coming up. Kind of like I know Ultraman's going to show up, so we finally get some like emotional resolution from that part of Bendis's run.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I think DC could be turning a really good corner here, and I think it's going to work really well for both new readers and people who liked the classic core characters that were around pre-New 52. It feels like we're kind of headed in a direction that's going to be fertile ground for all of those people to be happy. So, yeah, excellent. Well, thank you, Fritz. Appreciate your input as always. And we open at 11 o'clock every Wednesday morning, and our new comics are always prominently displayed so that you can see what came out brand new this week. Follow us on social media, PulpCG. We've got our website, www.pulpcg.com. From there you can subscribe to books, you can order books, you can pre-order Magic the Gathering is one of the things that we're doing right now. You can shop our inventory online, which will be improving starting in about a week here. And then also follow, subscribe our YouTube videos. And we will see you again next week, hopefully at full strength.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what you were thinking this entire video. But thanks for hanging in there with us, and have an amazing day. I'm going to stop saying good morning because I realized that people can watch YouTube videos anytime. And that probably doesn't make a lot of sense.